bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Bam! Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. How you doing? Man, oh man, check it out. It's another Thursday night. That's right. Today, Thursday, May 25th. 144 days into the new year, just 221 days left. We are live. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? It's Thursday night. It's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. We've got Jon Rappoport back with us. It's been 2 weeks. Can you believe it? Jon Rappoport, the smooth tones of John, will be here also tonight. Brad Olsen is here. Brad is going to be here at the top of the hour. We've got some crazy stuff going down off the coast of Malibu at the entrance of the Malibu Underwater Base. So we're going to cover that. Yeah, breaking news. And Brad and I have talked about this before, and it's pretty trippy. So we're going to talk about that at the top of the hour. Of course, we're taking phone calls all night long, 323-825-5045. Also, 323-275-9695. So 2 numbers to call in with, and there you go. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple, at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Already lit up. Man, that is the craziest GIF. Where did you get that? That one is me doing the boogie. I have no idea where that clip came from. Okay, and that's from Jason. And Jason. All right, I'll retweet it. Well, why not? Let that GIF go out there into the world. And yeah, let people have fun with that. Thank you, Jason. And hashtag F2BQ is the questions. Any questions or comments during the show, hit me there. I will answer it live on the air. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. All right. There you go. Okay. I'm going to get a few things out of the way. The breaking news is just that. Earthquakes at the entrance of the Malibu base. They continue. And Brad will be here at the top of the hour. Always great to have Brad on the show. Of course, he was with us this past weekend, all weekend long, by the way. And one of the great pictures of the weekend was taken with Brad and Josh, 14 feet of men. Okay, let's get a few things out of the way. Our next conference coming up is where is it? I'm just out of order. let me just say this really quick. I had hung out this weekend with Robert Schoch and Baval, JJ and Desiree Hartog, and of course Clifford Mahooty and Alan Steinfeld. All of them will be at the Cosmic Origins Conference in Sedona, Arizona, and it starts tomorrow. It's May 26th through the 28th. And yes, it's with Robert Schoch, Robert Baval, William Henry, JJ and Desiree, Clifford Mahooty, and others, hosted by the one and only Alan Steinfeld. Okay, so the website for it is worldviews with a Z media.com/seminars, Cosmic Origins. And I'm going to bust this out in real time. Rita hasn't arrived at the bunker yet, by the way. She is on her way here. So there you go. All right. It's called the Cosmic. I'm going to do this in real time. The Cosmic Origins Conference. Okay. And here is the link. It's right here. I've done my good deed to help out some friends. Everybody go and hang out there with them. If you're in Arizona, doing a drive-by, maybe you're on your way back from Contact in the Desert and you're in Arizona and you're driving home and you want to keep the party going. That's what you do. Just stop by here and hang out with everybody. There it is. Boom. With the link. Okay? And because what makes it really cool is Baval, Schoch, and William Henry and Clifford are going to do an excursion. And you can go and do that with them at the Rock Art Ranch. Okay, so go. Cosmic Origins Conference, there's the link. And if you're going to be in town, if you live out in Sedona, there you go. Yeah, I know that's what everybody is going to be doing this weekend, so there you go. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Over 650 archive shows. Next week, I'll be saying over 666 archive shows. Custom apps, Apple and Android, all platforms. That's the podcast. And it's just $2 a month. Now, we call it a podcast, but it's an archive of a radio show. It's not some slickly produced podcast with no, that's not what this is. Something that is done once a month. Our podcast is an archive of this show. Okay, that's what it is. And it's out there for those that can't listen to the show live. Then you just have a really cool app. You jump in your car, plug in your USB, hit play, boom, and you've got Fade to Black while you drive to work. That's what it's there for. $2 a month. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the podcast link. Go and download the apps over at the iStore, iTunes, or the Google Store and make your life wonderful. Or you can become a FADERNIGHT. You can also do both. A lot of people do both. Become a FADERNIGHT. Just go to our membership area. Now, when you register and you become a FADERNIGHT, you can start with free and you can go all the way to the Game Changer. All right? Whatever you want to do, but you're going to get a lot of different things. One, you're going to get the bunker cam. You're going to get the live feed, right? So you're going to get that. You get downloadable archives, okay? We've made them commercial free. Optimize the audio, download, take it where you want, all right? We have included the rant, the whole front part of the show. All of that is there. But the commercials itself are removed. So you just get one long show with no commercial interruptions. Okay, so that's very cool. And if you become a Game Changer, you get an autographed hat, you get a Fade to Black t-shirt, and the full package. And you get an amazing discount, 1 full year. Okay, and if you register and hit us in the membership area, you also get your name thrown in the hat for our monthly drawing. This month, we're giving away a coffee bar. That's a full-on River Moon coffee package, courtesy of River Moon Coffee, and all of the hardware that you need to make a perfect cup of coffee. And I'm telling you what, that is cool. That is cool. So just become a member. Just go to our membership area and register. No purchase necessary, right? You can go from free to full-on game changer. All right, there you go. And don't forget, always visit all of our sponsors, Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, Studio Dome Speakers. All of the banners are at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Click on them. The promo codes are there. Help support the show. Support yourself. There you go. Now, our next conference is coming up at ECETI Ranch. It's over July 4th weekend, and it's called the Spirit and World Transformation Conference. Tickets and info over at ECETI.org. This is a bucket list. Hanging out with James Gilliland this weekend. I was watching a video today, and Ashley's video, and it was just there. And so I click on it, and there's a spot in the middle of it where James photobombs. Gilliland likes to photobomb. And I see him in the background looking as she's shooting her video. She's got a tripod and her camera, and she's talking into the camera. And I see James in the background bombing her video. So I did too. I jumped in and photobombed with James. He's the professional. I didn't do it as good as James. James is funny. Very cool. So James Gilliland, ECETI Ranch, bucket list. Come hang out with James, and while you're up there taking pictures, I guarantee you, he will photobomb whatever you're trying to shoot. You're trying to look cool. You're trying to do your thing. You're going to go back and look at your pictures later, and you're going to have James Gilliland in the background. Totally cool. All right. And then, of course, after that, a month later, August, Corey Good up at Mount Shasta. I saw today, by the way, I spoke to Corey earlier, and I saw earlier today, where was it? I saw a post that they don't see any links up for Corey's thing up at Mount Shasta. They don't have, the website's getting ready to launch. They don't have it yet, but it should be ready to go in a couple of days, and we'll get the links up for that. I'm just reminding everybody to keep that on your schedule. It is August 18th up at Mount Shasta. There is a college up there, and it's at the college. I had all the information. I just don't have it in front of me. But it's over the weekend of the eclipse. So there will be an eclipse ceremony and a really cool list of speakers. I will be up there hosting and emceeing for the weekend and hanging out with all of you. I cannot wait. All right. All right. Let's get this show cracking. You guys ready? It's Thursday, Fader night. Oh, man. Open lines all night long. In a few short minutes, Jon Rappoport will be here. All right. Today, happy birthday to Ian McKellen, 78 years old. And we know him as, so many great movies. So many, right? But Gandalf. Cillian Murphy today is 41. And he made... Well, he'll always make the list, but he especially made the list this year because last month, Rita and I, we had a dinner party over at the house, and we were sitting around, we were talking about him, and we couldn't remember his name, but we reminded everybody at the table, we go, he's the freaky, crazy, scary dude in Red Eye. And it was like, oh, yeah, that guy, right. Yeah, Cillian Murphy today is 41. He was also good in Inception, Transcendence. He was pretty good, too. Today, he's 41 years old, but he's the creepy guy from Red Eye. Paul Weller today is 59 from The Jam, the Style Council. Love Paul Weller. Genius. Today, he is 59. There you go. On this day in history, yep, happened today in 1977. Star Wars opens and the world changed. 1977. Wow, it's hard to believe, right? Fader fact. In 2016, write this down. In 2016, the World Health Organization, the WHO, spent more money on travel than to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. That's a Fader fact. Sorry, I just bummed everybody out, but there you go. Tonight is another Fader night. Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom live. He's been away for 2 weeks. We've been away for 2 weeks. But we're back. It's Thursday, and so is John. So he's going to be here in a few minutes. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined with Brad Olsen talking about the Malibu Underwater Base and what is going on out there off of the coast of Malibu. Yeah, that's him right there. That's creepy dude. That's him. Creepy dude. Man, what a creepy movie that was. Just from beginning to end. Those kind of movies, yeah, you know, you go sometimes to watch a movie, either at the theater or at the house. All you want to do is be entertained. You want to be scared. You want to be happy. You just want to be entertained. You don't want to have to think too much. That is a perfect movie right there. It does everything. Rita arrived in the bunker. Okay. All right. Now, what I wanted to talk about now tonight, I want to hear from all the Fadernauts. This is a Fadernaut night. If you're at Contact in the Desert, we do want to hear from you. Call in, but tonight's all rainbows. Tonight is an all rainbow kind of night. All right. So I want to hear from all of you. But that being said, oh man, River Moon Coffee. I'll get the post. Dude, man, you can't drink on the air. It's unprofessional. You know what? It's my show. I'll do what I want. When it comes to River Moon Coffee. All right. Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. All right. Have you seen the new Twin Peaks? Now, one of the beauties about this show, I don't have notes. I don't take notes. I don't have questions. Don't care. I don't read. Everything is improv. Last week, I was talking to Nori. He called. Yeah, he called me because I remember now. This is what happened. He called me. What are you doing? And I said, I'm sitting here writing. And he goes, say what, Church? That was a good Nori impression right there. And I said, I'm writing. He goes, I thought you improvised. And I do, right? But what are you doing what are you doing writing? Well, I don't write. And I told him, I said, dude, I put down bullet points. And tonight, for my rant, I can literally assure you that there are no notes. You know what? And if you don't, this is what's really funny. And if you don't believe me, this is the rant tonight. Here, I'll show it on the bunker cam for everybody. That's the rant tonight. Can you see that? Blank page. See that? It's blank. See where it says rant? What does that say? Blank. Tonight's another Fader night. Tonight's another Fader night. That's all I have. There's nothing here. But we're talking about the new Twin Peaks, so I don't need notes is where I'm going, right? I don't need notes. Let me adjust this. I can't see, the camera's on another computer over here, so I can't see myself. Okay. Have you seen the new Twin Peaks? Twisted. And after Rita and I just binged the first 4 episodes, no spoilers here, so don't worry about that. But the new Twin Peaks is out now. And it is so twisted. The original Twin Peaks, let's back up. Last month, Rita and I, 2 months ago, it took us a while, we binged the first version of Twin Peaks, which aired in the early 90s. And the first Twin Peaks had, I think, don't quote me, don't correct me, but I think it had about 30 episodes per season, okay, which is crazy. Most seasons, no matter what you do, 16 episodes, 12 episodes, 16 episodes. It had like 30, 28, crazy amount. So we had 60 or so episodes to go through, plus the first, I don't know. It was a lot to binge. And we did it to prep. We wanted to watch it again and get ready for the new one, which kicked off this week. What a difference between the two, but the same. And again, no spoilers here. The original version of Twin Peaks, I don't know who your favorite characters were. It was all so great. The original storyline, I think, had some problems with it because David Lynch was battling with the network on how to do his show, which is a bad idea, which, in my opinion, killed the first season of Twin Peaks was magic because it was David Lynch doing his own thing, didn't get the pressure. The second season, he got the pressure from the network to reveal the killer, right? And I think all of us had different ideas who the killer may be. Was it supernatural? Was it just somebody that just killed Laura? Was it an accident? Whatever. But the network stepped in and killed it because they wanted to reveal who killed Laura Palmer. And that was wrong. They were in control. They grabbed control of it and they killed it. The first season of Twin Peaks, though, was magic. You watch those first 4, 5, 6 episodes, and again, we just binged it, so this is fresh in memory. You watch those first 4, 5, 6 episodes, and you're creeped out. It was well done. It was the first series for anything on network television that had ever been done that way up to that point. The music, right? That just magic. All right. So the twisted version of that, how disconnected. I mean, you had UFOs, you had the supernatural, you had American Indians and their traditions, you had an isolated location, you had a small town, you had all the things that were going on between everybody. Everybody was having an affair with the next person. All of that stuff was going on. So you take that idea, that palette that Mark Frost and David Lynch had back then, and the way that they wanted to do things. David Lynch, and you move that to today, and now without the restrictions of network television, the FCC, somebody telling you what to do, and you go, I think it's on Showtime, right? Showtime or HBO? Showtime. Yeah, Showtime. And you don't have those restrictions. Now, Lynch and Frost are able to stay as twisted, but now we've got things like, foul language. We got bad words. We have sex, nudity, adult situations, real life situations, and they're not holding back. But David Lynch has said over the years, I try to project the dream. How you dream at night, how you dream at night, I try to capture that. And if you think about movies like Blue Velvet or any of his stuff, it's a twisted dream. It's what it is. It's just a twisted dream. He's able to do it this time around in Twin Peaks like never before. As twisted and as dark as you want to go, he is going there this time. The first episode, again, no spoilers, the first episode is so whacked in its presentation. It's all the vignettes. He's setting up, he's picking up where it left off. Of just about everybody has returned, by the way. Does anybody know if Sherilyn? Oh, you know what? I don't want to give any spoilers away. But the cast is there, and so that happened in the first episode. But the first episode went in so many different directions so fast. You're wondering how can he do this? How can he connect this up? And he rolls into the second episode, and it's more of the same, right? And you get to the third episode, and the dream, all of it is great. But you get to the third episode, and the dream, the nightmare dream scenario was captured so magically by Lynch. It's just incredible. And the music, whoo, man. So anyway, not the theme song, the music here. He's got a couple of bands. Just check that out too as well. But now I think this was my post last night. After binging, I posted on Facebook. Who posted this? Mark, thank you for doing this. I posted, it's official. I'm going on the record. David Lynch has lost his mind. And I mean that in the kindest of ways. You need David Lynch to lose his mind. You don't want him to have his mind. You don't want him to feel like he's in control. You want the out-of-control David Lynch. And I'm telling you, this Twin Peaks, so far, the first 4 episodes, out of control. Everything that you loved about the original Twin Peaks, you get here times 10. It's all there. It's magic. It's magic. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't. But it is headed that way. All right, I've already got email. Let's see here. Renee says, do David Duchovny's legs still look good? That, Renee, and thank you for that. Let me say this. One of the brilliant moves in the original Twin Peaks was David Duchovny. Oh, the cross-dressing FBI agent that kicked ass. And the confused FBI agent. Yes, man, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. I can't answer that, but let me just say this. I don't want to give it away, but the magic of the original series with that cast returns. Okay? Can I go that far without blowing it? Okay. All right. I know it's out there. Everybody can go and read who the cast is. But very, 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 very great. And there you go. And we have to wait for more episodes. It's killing me. Killing me. There you go. The new Twin Peaks. If you guys have seen it, I want to hear from you. All right, let's go. Let's get ready. Tonight's another Fader Night with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. The top of the hour, Brad Olsen's going to be here, so get ready for that. But right now, it's Jon Rappoport. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network in KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back with Rap. Stay right there.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Kletsky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station where the Fadernauts rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Great to be here, everybody. Back with you again. So, let's take a little break from reality, from the world as it presents itself to us every day, as it is fed to us by, indeed, the Ministry of Truth. Let's do something different. One of the effects of having the world fed to us every day by the ministry is that every terrible thing that happens in the world is magnified and repeated over and over and over again until the next new bad thing can be shown to us, described, analyzed, opinionated upon over and over and over again, and so on and so forth. A steady stream of this begins to convince people that indeed this is the only reality, that there is nothing else, which we could call the public reality. And even that is a misnomer because, again, it is being shaped, emphasized, constructed, broadcast to us by official reality. So even there we get an illusion of sorts. Now the counter to this is your private world. Yes, indeed. Everybody's got one. Your private world. The world that you visit here and there, now and then. It could be a specific place. It could be a combination of places. It could be certain intense interests, private interests that you have that stand apart from public events. It could be a mix and match affair of infinite variety. Who knows? It does not have to be perfectly formed and spherical and absolute. It can be changing and shifting, but it's yours. It's your private world. It's the place that you go for a respite from living every day in the way that we live. It's there. Oh, yeah. It's there. You can try to deflect it or deny it, but it's there. And the reason is there, the reason that it is there is because you find good things in it, things that you want, things that are exciting, magical, perhaps, inspiring, uplifting, fun even, exciting, adventurous. Why is that? Well, who knows, but everybody's got one. Everybody's got a place like that. And sometimes that place is expressed in dreams, the kinds of dreams that people have when they're asleep at night, because then the barriers go down. Then the exploration can take place. There is no need to be dealing with practical details. Then imagination can soar. All things are possible. This private world of yours is not to be ignored or brushed off. It is, in fact, a component of sanity. That may sound a little strange because some versions of psychology would turn it around and put it another way. Oh, it's just an escape from reality, and it's not mature, and life is really all about dealing directly with reality as it presents itself. Really? Is that right? Is that what artists do? Is that what inventors do? I don't think so. I don't think so. Your private world is very important to you, to your overall state of mind. And it isn't just a vacation spot. It has many things in it that are, let's use a familiar old word, paranormal. You can do things in that world that you can't do here, or you don't think you can do here. I'll give you a few examples from my own history. A very fertile period of mine in the 1970s, or thereabout, going into the 1980s when I was painting every day, and my imagination was indeed stimulated. And certain types of dreams began to come back to me from my childhood. Not the same dreams, but the same theme, and that theme was flying. Flying. How many of you have had flying dreams? Lots of people have flying dreams of all kinds. I had many different types. Many different types. For example, I would be standing in a park, and I would be walking along, and it would occur to me that it was time to fly, that I wanted to fly. And I had to re-instruct myself on how to do it in the dream. I had to remember how it was done. And I would search for the answer, and finally it would come to me in the dream that I simply had to stretch my legs out to the side and lie horizontally above the ground and float, hover, for starters. Oh yes, that's right. And so I was able to do that. And then resting comfortably there, and people would be walking by in the park, you know. And this was a park that I knew, you know. I would then begin to rise and begin to fly through the park, through these large palm trees in the park. In between them, back and forth across the park, people would look up and they would watch, and I would go higher out over the park, and the ocean was next to the park, and I would be out over the ocean. And of course, this was accompanied by an increasing sense of exhilaration. And that exhilaration would sort of transmute at some point into sheer ecstasy at flying. There were other dreams of flying that happened in a large gymnasium, indoor gymnasium with a very high ceiling, where people would do different kinds of exercises. You know, they would do somersaults and tumbles and gymnastic type exercises, and other people would perhaps lift weights or hang from rings and so forth. And I would be in the gymnasium standing there trying to communicate with these other people to tell them that there was much more that was possible in the form of exercise than what they were doing, at which point I would be inspired in the dream to take off and fly. And I would fly. And I would be able to do all manner of moves and dipsy doodles and upside down and go up as high as this very, very high ceiling and swoop down. And again, ecstasy, sheer ecstasy at being free from the constraints of the walking life, you know, the gravity. That's gone. And it should be gone. And in my private world of these dreams, it was gone. It was completely gone. There were no limits. And there were other dreams of flying outdoors and outside, especially at night, where the objective was to go as high as possible, as far away from Earth as possible, and into the vicinity of other points of light in the sky, stars, whatever they were, so that the space in which this was happening was gigantic and marvelous. And without, there were no worries about bumping into things or, obstacles, because all of space virtually was open. So in these particular flying dreams, I was able to cover gigantic distances in a few seconds without, any apprehension about solid objects. It was just, let's go here and there and so forth. So that was an element of my private world that was expressed in dreams. What is your private world? What is that like? Where do you go? What happens when you go there? And the point is, it's important. In fact, it's super real. When you come back, you understand that the experience is more real than living experiences. It has that imprint in your memory when you come back from a dream like that. Wow, that was more real than reality. That felt more real than sitting here or walking outside or driving in a car or swimming in the ocean. It had that super real quality. That's also a clue about how important your private world is to you. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. So rather than follow the dictates of society, which seem to be, well, yes, I suppose these kinds of private world experiences, and these dream experiences could be fun and so forth, but really one shouldn't pay very much attention to that because, the business of living is really the important thing, and that's what you have to focus on and concentrate on and so forth and so on. No, not at all. Not at all. It's not a matter of, quote, getting so involved in your private world that you lose touch with reality, end quote. Not at all. That's not the point. That's not the outcome. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, actually, is bringing some of that magic substance back with you into waking life. Get it? Bringing it back from these private world experiences. And finding a way to infuse your life in this reality, which of course is all too encroaching and encompassing, as we all know, to infuse this life with some of that magic, to find a way to do that, to take the sparkling bubbles, as it were, from the fountain of youth and bring them back with you and infuse your life in some way with them. How would that happen? How would you do that? A bit of a puzzle, perhaps? Every person has to figure that out for himself or herself. How would I do that? Or to put it another way, how would I express my private world in the public world? An interesting question. A question not really focused on by mental health professionals and so forth, but a vital question indeed. One of the most vital questions, not taught in schools, not certainly taught on the job, rarely discussed, which is why I'm bringing it up here tonight. How would you express your private world in the public world? That is a very interesting question to ponder. A very interesting question to ponder. It can be done. Certainly can be done. I'm not necessarily talking about a one-to-one correspondence, as it were. There are people who have dreams, for example, of songs. And then they come back, songwriters, and they wake up and they write those songs. They remember the song from the dream, and they write the song. Well, sure, that's one way, of course. But it doesn't have to be a one-to-one correspondence. For myself, it turned out to be painting. There was a long period of time during which that was it for me. That was the way to express my private world in the public world. It's there on the canvas. And I don't mean that I was recording, as it were, my dreams on canvas. Some people would do that. No, it was a less obvious connection. It was an attempt to express the feelings in the private world, in my private world, in my dreams on the canvas. The feelings, the sensations, the ecstasy, the exhilaration, etc., etc., etc. But how you would do it, that would be up to you. But it's a vital question. Because otherwise, as the poet said, the world is too much with us. The world is too much with us. And it seems that societies and civilizations, especially modern societies, are arranged in such a way that they minimize the importance and the relevance of a person experiencing his own private world. This is minimized in this culture to the point where people say, well, of course it is. It would have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. There are other cultures in the past and even now in the present where one's private world is accorded much importance. Visions, dreams, etc. But here and now, and you and me and us, each one of us can contemplate that question and find some sort of an answer, because if you do, then your life is changed for the better. If you find a way to express your private world in the public way, your life is changed for the better. And so is the life of people around you. Just as a matter of course, as a matter of fact. There is a transmission, if you will, of energy from you to them that occurs. Our civilization and our society are in dire need of this. There is no doubt about it. And of course, it's true that we are trained and indoctrinated and educated out of all of this, if by inattention and avoidance alone, so that there doesn't seem to be an outlet for the private world in the public sphere. But that shouldn't deter you or anyone. That just happens to be the way the culture is arranged. And the reason that you are sitting here or wherever you are listening to this program is because you're not that kind of person. You're not that kind of person who just simply gives in to the public world and says, well, that's all there is, that's all I have. No. You're looking for the inner connection. You're looking for something mysterious, exciting, adventurous, intriguing, magnetically attractive in some way or another. That's why you listen. That's what you want to find. So you're already out of the culture to that degree, out of the orthodox consensus culture of society. But to take it a step further, your private world. The first program, and I'll finish with this, the first segment that I did here on F2B had to do with a Soviet psychic that I met in Los Angeles many years ago. Probably about the time that I was a couple of years into being a reporter. And she didn't want to talk to me at all. She was working for the USSR. This was before the breakup of Soviet Union. She worked for the government and she worked with cosmonauts over there. And so little by little it became apparent, because she was willing to talk a bit, that the reason she was working with them is because they were coming back from space with very strange and interesting experiences. And so I tried to press her and cajole her from one direction or another into talking to me. And finally I said, okay, all right, I understand you have rules and regulations and restrictions, and this is called research, and you can't divulge to me, an American, what you're doing with these cosmonauts, but can you give me at least an example of what these people are experiencing in space, such that when they come back, they send them to you? Why you? What are they experiencing? Give me an example. And finally, she looked at me and she said, well, for example, meeting dead relatives. And there was silence for a bit. I said, really? She said, oh yeah. I said, this is more than one cosmonaut? She said, oh yeah, indeed. Well, Would we call that an experience in the public world or the private world? Maybe it's an overlap. Maybe it's a crossover. But there's a certain private world tinge, at least, shall we say, in all of this. That isn't to say that it's not also actually happening in some way that is quite unusual. But these cosmonauts come back with an experience that they would probably characterize in some sense as very personal and therefore to some degree private. They met one of their own dead relatives. Well, we don't have time to get into how would you possibly explain that, that this could happen, but they come back. And I would bet that at least a few of them felt a need to somehow express the excitement, the gratitude, the ecstasy that they felt upon meeting a dead relative. They wanted to somehow express that in the public world that they returned to here. Doubt that they were given the opportunity, seriously doubt it. But I bet they wanted to. Okay, so in the same way, whatever your private world is, think about how you can express it in this world, because if you can, as I say, your life will be a better. And that's my story for tonight.
John. Hey, have you seen the new Twin Peaks?
No. I'm still watching the last few episodes of the old one.
Yeah, okay. All right. And wait till you remind me of Twin Peaks. Because you take us into a real reality, right? And the way that David Lynch does it, he's so great. And it makes you, he makes you question your own sanity, right? And and the world as he sees it in these dream sequences and stuff. But the new one, wow! I'm glad you're a Twin Peaks fan. You had to be. Also, I just wanted to say this: back before you grew the beard, right? Mm-hmm. You reminded me of Lynch. I know. I know you probably never heard that, but there's something there, man. You're both.
I love the guy. I love the guy. Yeah, I'll just say this for a second. He made a film called Inland Empire.
Yes.
I was unable to watch the film for one reason, because the first 6 or 7 minutes of the film.
Yes.
I saw like 17 films in that first 5 minutes, and I was so taken I had to stop, and I had to think about everything that was going on. The guy is multi-dimensional.
Yes.
He's marvelous.
Yeah, completely multi-dimensional. Well, enjoy the binge watching of the old, and when you get into the new, it will continue. All right?
Wonderful. Thank you, Jimmy.
Hey, John, you're the very best. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah.
Jon Rappoport is back. And don't forget, start off your day at nomorefakenews.com. Thank you so much, John. You're the best, my friend.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Jon Rappoport. All right. When I come back, I'm going to take a quick break. It is Thursday night. It's Fader night. So buckle up, kiddies. We're going to take phone calls. But when I return, we're going to be joined with Brad Olsen and the updates on the Malibu Underwater Base. What is going on off the coast of Malibu? Well, we'll find out with Brad right after this. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell.
You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to JimmyChurchRadio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Teppy.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about Angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking Angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fader Night, which means Jon Rappoport. I want to thank Jon for coming in. It also means open lines all night long. But before we get to that, I'm bringing in our good friend, Brad Olsen. Brad, welcome back to the program. How are you?
Hey, Jimmy, doing great. Nice seeing over the weekend at Contact Desert. That was great.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And I know I give you a hard time for being the tallest researcher and publisher in the business, but you know what? It was a gift from God, and you just kind of got to deal with it. And, you know, I ride you hard about it, but, man, it's just every time that I see you, Brad, I just think to myself, if I was that tall, I'd play for the Lakers. And there you go. So it's just love, my friend. Now, before we get to the breaking news coming out of Malibu, I do want to announce to everybody that we've got some other breaking news here. We just got a series of images in just now from England. I've got 16 images here of a pretty crazy, I don't know how to explain what I'm looking at. It is a UFO. They're calling it triangular, but it's not. We are trying to get clearances now. When I say they're calling it triangular, what I'm looking at here, and they're very clear with enlargements and everything. It's very hard to explain, but what I'm looking at here is 2 rectangular white panels, and they are together, separated, but together. And with some other
hardware coming off of it. Very strange set of photographs with a chemtrail, with a chemtrail, with a vapor trail coming off of the back. Very interesting. So I want to get these out to you, and I'm waiting. They're calling it rectangular. I'm sorry. I thought that I saw. Yeah, rectangular. See.
Not a TR-3B flying triangle.
No. It says rectangular. I said triangle. I saw. Your eyes see what you're going to see, right? So there you go. No, it's rectangular. Bizarre. So we're waiting to get clearance right now, and as soon as we do, we will. This is coming in from an official organization, so I just want to make sure that we have clearances on this. And once we get that, we will post this series of pictures up here. Breaking news out of England. Nuts. Wait till you see these images. And so, man, I don't want to get in trouble, right? So I don't own the images, and this just came in literally exactly at 8 p.m. So, okay, Brad, what is going on off the coast of Malibu? It happened again today. What happened?
It's happening on a daily basis. We're getting this news coming in, Jimmy. At Contacting the Desert, we said, boy, it's every week.
Right.
We're getting some mind-blowing new news. Now it's every day, and today several times a day. So what we got is 7:20 a.m. You have a 3.3 magnitude earthquake off the Malibu coast. And when I saw that, I had to go to my Google map and triangulate the U.S. Geological Survey map to our famous underwater base. And guess what? It's a dead ringer. It happened right there on the same spot again.
And
you know,
yeah, the last time, Brett, I feel like I just cut you off, but the last time this happened, it was also right there at the entrance, according to their coordinates.
That's right. And the last time I was on Fade to Black for a full show, it was December, late December, and it happened there again, a 3.3 back in December 27, 2016. A couple days later, I was on. And here's the real mind-blowing thing about it. Yes, you have the exact same 3.3 tremor at the Malibu Underwater Base. But then back in 2016, a day later, you had 3 5.5 and 5.7 earthquakes at the Naval Undersea Warfare Center at Hawthorne, Nevada.
Right.
And we talked about Walker Lake and how that is this top secret submarine base. Well, I found out they've taken down that sign because there are so many conspiracy researchers like us saying, what the heck are you doing submarine bases in a lake in Nevada?
Right.
And then on that ABC 7 news article today, if you scroll down, and it's really hard, really easy to miss it, it says, this is today. About an hour later, there were 2 additional earthquakes further north, magnitudes 3.4 and 3.7, both happening at approximately 11.2 miles northeast of Caso Junction in Inyo County. I just stopped there. There's a rest station there because I was interested in China Lake. Sure enough, I looked it up on Google Maps. 2 more earthquakes at China Lake's Naval Weapon Testing Center. Another naval base gets hit by these small earthquakes the same day as Malibu. That's too much of a coincidence to not be really weird.
What do you think is going on?
Well, you know, in my book, Future Esoteric, I have a chapter on the underground bases. So after we talked this morning about coming on Fade to Black, I started looking through all my maps of the underground bases and stuff, and I could not find either Henderson, where the one was in 2016. No, Hawthorne. Henderson's near Vegas. Or I couldn't find China Lake. But I did a little further digging. The reason they're not on the underground bases map, because they're underwater naval bases.
Right.
And they're the ones that got hit on both of the days following the Malibu quake. So it has something to do with the Navy. It has something to do with underwater access under California out to the Mojave Desert and the Nevada Desert. Pretty strange, huh?
Well, it's when I hear about it when it comes to the Malibu base, I feel like they're trying to destroy the evidence. Right now, they could be testing weapons down there. That could be, and the same thing up in Hawthorne at that, because that's a warfare center. So maybe they're testing some kind of tactical nuclear tipped torpedo, for instance. That could be. Same thing out at China Lake. That could also, but here we have this entrance that we have publicly disclosed. That was secret up until the point where we made that massive media campaign and did that. But what a better way to do it than to disguise, to hide it from civilians. What if somebody wants to, and there's reports out there that Rob Lowe tried to, I don't know if he successfully did it, but he tried to get a submarine to go and check out the entrance of the base. The reason why the entrance of the base is so difficult. Now, we went out there. We went out there with the research boat and dropped underwater drones in the water, and that's going to be on our new TV show that's coming up in September. So what we saw, I'm under contract with A&E, so I can't disclose what's about to air. I don't want to get in trouble. But we went out there to do it. And I'm going to say this. 2,000 feet under the water is deep. It's deep. Our submarines, a nuclear submarine, right? The new nuclear submarines, their crush depth is 500 feet. Okay, crush depth. Now, to go deeper than that, you can take a submarine deeper, 750 feet. 2,000 or 1,000 feet for a little bit, but you're not going to sit down. It's going to crush. The other submarines that go that depth, which like James Cameron and Titanic and so forth, there's only a few submersibles in the world that can do that. 1-man, 2-man submarines that hit that kind of depth. James Cameron's, which we, through another company, tried to get access to, and we were close to doing that, by the way. He had mothballed his. He owned one for parts. And so there were 2 identical ones, and now there's only one. Cameron's, like I said, he parked his. And there's only a few things that can go that deep. I don't know what Rob Lowe found, if he did, to find something that can go down to that depth. It is very, very difficult. But submersibles and things that you don't have to worry about human life and stuff. Instrumentation, cameras, all of that, it's a very specialized thing. But you can get it done. If you have the money and you have the ability, you can go down there and start poking around. And I know that since we made that disclosure, that people are out there trying to do that. Rob Lowe did, we did. And maybe now they're trying to hide the evidence. The reason why I don't think you could have a successful demolition of it is it's 2 miles wide. It's, the entrance is 700, the columns are 750 feet wide. The entrance is huge. And this is the platform itself is 600 feet thick, right? The roof. So you're not just going 600, that's 2 football fields, right? Think about what I am trying to suggest here. It is a massive, massive base. So maybe it's taken a few cracks at it that they're trying to collapse it. They're trying to collapse this entrance, and they're doing everything that they can. It is way beyond coincidence, and I totally agree with you, Brad, that these earthquakes are pinpointed right at the entrance of the base. That is trippy.
And the other thing, when you look at the base, this underwater entrance on Google Earth, and anybody can do it, it is massive, and it is bigger than megalithic. Mm-hmm. So it posits the question, if it's 2,000 feet underwater, when could they have built it? During the last ice age, when the ocean was much lower. Well, then, of course, the Navy couldn't have had anything to do with it.
Right.
It would have been there. It's like a legacy base. And the last time I was on 6 months ago, when we were talking about this again, we were bringing up all the underground possible bases under LA and stuff, and how California is like a block of Swiss cheese with tunnels and tubes everywhere. Now, you were mentioning maybe it was a Navy test. I'm going to have to go with what David Wilcock has been saying way back in 2014, that the Alliance is destroying these underground bases.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps they're doing it in such a way that they're not going to give the cabal any chance to escape if they try to pull like a World War III or destroy the surface of the planet. That's what David Wilcock's been saying for many years now. And these strange little 3-point-something or 4-point-something earthquakes that don't really do any damage on the surface, but can be felt on the surface, are happening in all the most anomalous places. Like they're happening at famous underground base sites all across the Midwest, even out in Virginia a couple years ago that never has earthquakes. And just before I came on the show, somebody sent me a link to one in Ohio, although it's not too far from Wright-Patterson. He thinks it would have more to do with fracking, and that's probably what's going on with all the small earthquakes in Oklahoma as well.
Well, and check this out. If you take Wilcock's reporting on this and you flip that over, right, and you go backwards, you have another possibility here. Maybe it's the deep state and the cabal and the military-industrial complex trying to close down their bases, right? The Alliance's bases. Maybe this is, we're all speculating here, but the facts are the facts. The earthquake is continuing at the entrance of the Malibu base.
Correct.
That's
undeniable.
Yeah, undeniable. Why is it going on? I don't know. It is so. I thought about this when we went out there. The first time I flew over the base and shot video. Right, I rented a plane and went out and flew around it and took shots. And when we did that, as we were approaching the entrance of the base, and I'm looking at it on navigation, right, and I can see we have the coordinates. And as we are approaching the X, and I'm watching our plane, right, approach the X in real time in the navigation. And as we're getting there, I look out the window, and right above, at the X, as we flew over the base and as we crossed the X, I'm looking out the window, and there's a research vessel right there. A big one. With a bunch of people on deck, and you could see hoses and lines hanging over the side. And so there you go. Now that's, and I look around. I'm in a plane, a private plane, and I'm looking around. There's not a boat for 10 miles, right? But right there at the X is a boat with cables hanging out over the deck. Now, help me out here. Is that beyond coincidence? Of course it is. It's beyond coincidence. So anyway, when we went out, when we took the big boat out with the film crew, and we took it out there once again, and you'll see this in the TV show. We were out there alone. There were no boats. We had to anyway, I don't want to give away the show.
They knew you were coming.
Yeah, they knew we were coming. Yeah. It was kind of funny what ended up happening on the radio, but I thought to myself, I had this precog, right? I thought to myself, we're going to be able to do this today. We won't be able to come back because they're going to destroy this thing. They know now we're on it. We're out here, and we're filming and we're dropping stuff in the water. I know that they were probably watching us with some high-powered telescopes and binoculars, and maybe even drones were flying overhead. I'm not kidding. All this went through my mind, and I thought to myself, they're gonna blow this up. They're gonna blow this thing up. Hey, you just watch. We're gonna come back, and it's gonna be rubble. Well, as soon as we cleared out of there, the next thing you know, we've had nothing but earthquakes over the last year, at the entrance of the base. And you just have to wonder what is really going on. Brad, as you know, we went, once we had the idea of what the formation was, and I want to go back and visit what you were just talking about with the aging of this and sea levels, because that's an interesting point. But we went back painstakingly for days on Google Earth and looked up and down the coastline of every coastline on planet Earth. Do you know how long that took? It was murder. But we were trying to find another entrance like this. We wanted to see if it was natural and we could find another natural formation. Maybe it's not natural and there's another entrance similar to this somewhere around the world. We didn't find anything. And so as far as a natural formation goes, not even around the Malibu Bay, there isn't anything else like it. And we went up and down every single coast. We couldn't replicate it. The Malibu Base and what it represents is the only one like it on Earth that we have found. And it's unique. You know, it's clearly an entrance to something. Now, going back to the dating, you bring up a really, really good point. For the sea levels, back the last modern ice age, the modern ice age, that's 10,000, 12,000 BC. But if you really back up before that to the true ice ages, where the sea levels were dramatically lower, now we're going back a long, long, long time. And would it have been a lost civilization, humans that built that? Could it have been a temple of some kind, an entrance to a city of some kind? Was it a tunnel connecting to other tunnels? I don't know. Would it have been a pure alien installation, something from off planet that has built something that large? To build something that big and have it be a tunnel, what is it that's going in and out of it while it's above ground, right? Above water. These are all intriguing questions, ones that we have to get answered. And I feel like we're getting close, but man, I think they're trying to take it away from us. I really, really, really do.
Well, it's a good thing we're covering it while we can. I'm kind of surprised that Google Earth doesn't just smear it out so you can't see it as vividly as you can. But on that point, to build something that massive, that deep, would have required a hell of a lot of technology to put that together. Even if it was with lower sea levels, to build such a uber megalithic structure, and then who knows how deep it goes and where it goes, but apparently it connects to the China Lakes Naval Weapon Test Center and the Hawthorne, Nevada Naval Undersea Warfare Center.
And you know what's and what's in between?
And what's in between? You got the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Area 51. Area 51 is in between in a straight line too. It's a frightening thought, and I hate to say that. When I keep saying beyond coincidence, it just kills me to say that, but we have to address this. And also, you have the tunnel system underneath Los Angeles.
Right.
Is it all related? Is it all connected? Thanks to you and your research, that possibility is there. And I know you're going to stay on top of this, but just thank you. Eric just posted one of the classic pictures that are out there, the base that we did, and I got to say, look at that. What a beautiful thing. And I think they're trying to take it away from us.
Jimmy, really finally, do. I would only propose that there are underground tunnels and dry underground bases, and what it appears with the Malibu base and the China Lake and Hawthorne naval test areas, there are underwater channels to underwater bases as well. That's why they're not coming up on any of my maps that I've saved about the regular underground bases. And just as a final point, a lot of sites that I was looking at researching before tonight says that there is probably a submarine base in the Monterey Bay. and the Monterey Bay is extremely deep as well. However, that could be a man-made one and much, much smaller than this Malibu one, which is a mile tall. Come on, how do you build something like that? It just boggles the mind.
Yeah. No question about it. I wanted to ask you before I let you go, we've got 2 minutes left here. How great was Contact in the Desert?
Oh, it's the gold standard in UFO conferences, far and above the rest. It certainly sets the bar very high for all the other conferences of a similar vein, but really great. The weather was nice. So cool hanging out with Yuta and Rita. Our booths were right next to each other again this year, and coming to the FADERNIGHT party, that was the coup d'etat to the whole weekend.
Now, how great was that party?
Oh, man, Jimmy, you are the host with the most. You know how to throw a shindig.
It wasn't me. And that's the thing. It was the FADERNIGHTs. You know, right. And I'm gonna go, and I've got I'll thank everybody here in just a minute, but that party reminded me of what we used to do as kids, right? It had it all. Well, first off, we had a wide range of ages there. And so that's what was really cool. I mean, we had everything from like me and Alan Steinfeld, and Chris Hardy was there from France, right? I mean, how cool was that? So we had, that at the top, going all the way down to, what I'm calling kids, 20-year-olds, playing guitars and singing, and the harmonies and everything coming out of every single room. And it was packed. There was a moment there where I was like, you know what? This is Animal House, right? And the police are going to show up. And I thought, how cool would it be if the FADERNIGHTs had the police called on them? That's what I was hoping for, but apparently the neighbors just didn't care. But that was amazing.
And a keg come flying out the window.
Right.
Cops, right. Yeah, it was that kind of party.
Toga. Yeah, man, it was cool. The food was excellent. Just what a great night. And Contact in the Desert was just so cool this year. I miss it. I want to go back. I wish we could go back right now.
I know.
Hey, Brad, thank you so much for doing the research, and don't stop. I know that you're going to stay with the Malibu base and what's going on out there, and keep us right in front of all the breaking news.
You got it, buddy. Thanks for having me on. Nice talking to you again.
Yeah, thank you so much. Brad Olsen, everybody. Now, his website, don't forget, CCCP Publishing. You can follow Brad on Twitter, CCCP Publishing. It's all simple. It's all good. Now I'm opening up the phone lines because it's FADERNIGHT. All right? I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
End time is not what you thought. In their new book, 12/24/36, authors Mike and Cheryl Gilmore bring forth a startling new idea on the beginning of humankind, how life begins on Earth and when our Creator concludes this age. In the book, 12/24/36, three small groups of individuals, separated by thousands of miles, discover together the answers to the beginning of our universe and all the life it contains. Mike Gilmore is the author of 5 Levels of Power novels and the Sled Investigation series. Cheryl Gilmore is current state director in South Carolina for MUFON and brings a lifetime of experience with UFOs and related fields. As a team, their new book about life in the near future on Earth sets aside most people's religious and scientific beliefs. Available exclusively on Amazon in softback for $8.99 or the ebook price for only $2.99. Remember, Amazon softback $8.99, ebook only $2.99. 12/24/36. Get your copy today.
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, Improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. Nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. FADERNIGHT, Thursday night. Open lines 323-825-5045. If that number's busy, 323. If you have trouble getting through on that line, 323-275-9695. All right. If you're on hold, stay right there. I do want to thank Brad Olsen for those very important updates, and he's been on it. And I was looking at the U.S. Geographical Survey's maps, and it's crazy. And their warning system, you can go and look at all the earthquakes. And 10 hours ago, there was like an 8.5 earthquake right in the middle of Turkey, in the middle of nowhere. An 8.5 did not make the news. Very strange, very strange. Did not make the news. And it was in the middle of nowhere. Maybe that's why it didn't make the news. But that was 10 hours ago. And the amount of earthquakes that are happening around the world, and you can look at their map and look at the clusters. It's pretty interesting. Then go look at Southern California. Right there, Malibu, lit up. It's crazy. What is going on out there? We're going to find out. I'm telling you. We're gonna get a clear view of the Malibu base with either a submarine or a submersible, and we're gonna look at rubble. It's gonna be collapsed. You mark my words. All right, phone lines are open, 323-825-5045. If you're on hold, stay right there, or 323-275-9695. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're first up. Who's calling?
Hey there, it's Kendra in Ventura.
Hey, Kendra, how are you tonight?
Oh, excellent, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing good, good.
Tripping hard, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. What's on your mind?
I've got 4 questions for you, if I may.
Okay, 4?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want them all at once or one at a time?
Okay, let's go one at a time. What's the first one?
First one is, you mentioned on the roundup about Contact in the Desert that Robert Schoch had come out many times during the event, but I don't know what about. Could you share a little bit more about what he came out about?
Okay, well, that would take a whole show, but we that was during our panel for the Forbidden Archaeology panel, and he came out about a few things, okay. I don't know what order they were, but one, that he felt a little bit restricted because he's a tenured professor and he doesn't have the freedom to talk about what he wants to talk about, but that he doesn't care anymore and he wants to put the A word into the discussion, which is aliens. And that was pretty dramatic, and it was really, really cool. He said, "Screw it, I don't care anymore. I'm out of the closet. I will talk about it." Then he said, that the, I have to go back and write those down. But there was 5. I'll go back and review it, and I'll do it on Monday. Because I don't want to speak for Robert when it comes to something as touchy as that. It was each one of them was dramatic, and he was actually laughing after each one. And I said to him during the panel that he was happy. He was happy. He was happy. He was smart that he was getting this stuff off of his chest. So I'll go back and check it out. Okay, question number 2.
Okay. Along the same lines, you mentioned that Graham Hancock apologized for something, and I'm not clear on what he felt he needed to apologize for.
Yeah, he apologized for getting angry on the Joe Rogan show.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, they had a debate.
Okay.
They had a debate on the show with Michael Shermer and Randall Carlson about lost civilizations and history and where that was going, and Graham apologized for getting angry and losing his cool, but he said that he was tired of being attacked over the years, and he just couldn't take it anymore, and he got angry, so he apologized, and then the next day or maybe the day after that, he put everything in writing that he had stated during the panel. And went public and posted that. I did see it on Facebook. So there you go. So there was that. Okay, question number 3.
Okay. So this question may help answer the other 2 is I've been looking for videos of the various panels and presentations and speakers at the conference, and I can't really find anything, and it's really unusual because I usually have each time, even a day or 2 after, there'll be not all the panels, but some of them, there'll be a YouTube of it, and there's nothing, and I'm going crazy because I want, since I couldn't attend, I really would love to see the presentations. Is there a source, a place I'm totally missing? I've gone everywhere, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and I just can't find a dang thing.
Okay, now that I can't answer. I will say that Contact in the Desert, their videos, which all the panels are documented and recorded, and they do have DVDs, I would say go to their website and see if there's a way to purchase a stream or to purchase the videos. I don't know if they are out on YouTube. I don't know if anybody is out there with cell phone videos that they've posted. Those may be out there too, but I haven't seen them. No.
Strange. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I have to do the freebie, but hopefully eventually something will.
No, I get it. Forward. I totally get it. I do.
And then lastly, you were just talking about the whole Malibu base thing, and you mentioned Rob Lowe as participating somehow. I forget exactly. Are we talking to the actor Rob Lowe?
Yeah, the actor Rob Lowe. Yes.
Wow, that's really cool.
Well,
okay, so those were my questions.
Yeah, he made History Channel and A&E Networks announced his new program that he's doing with his 2 sons, touring the country. I don't remember the exact details, covering different conspiracy theories. And one of their stated goals was that they were going to take a submarine out to the Malibu base. I'll say this: I don't even care. At this point, they called me and got in touch with us and our agent and wanted me to participate in that show. And so I had all the details down, and I declined. And I love Rob Lowe, I really do, but I want us to do our own thing. So there you go. So I know that they went out there to go and do it. Kendra,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, there's smoking the beans, slap the bass at Gobekli Tepe, Shaman.
Yeah, thank you so much,
I'm extending
Kendra.
my goodbye.
There you go. Great questions. Thank you so much.
Take care, man.
You got it.
Love you, man. Bye.
Kendra out in Ventura with great questions there. I can't remember. Shock. This is this is the way that I look at life and look at this show in general. Is this now? There was one other thing that went down in that panel that I'm going to mention here in just a second. But if I don't have a memory of an event, that means it was good, right? If going through all of these shows on Fade to Black, going through everything or anything, if I don't have a memory, that means it was smooth. You know, nothing bad to report here. Nothing bad. If I have to go back and try to wonder and think about things, then it was good. I only remember the bad stuff. That panel, both panels actually, were excellent, smooth running, fantastic panels. So I don't remember them. And therefore, they were great. And with Shock coming out those 4 times, and we then eventually there was a fifth one at the end. And I don't remember them. That's because it was magic. All right, let's go back to the phones. I think I got the Reverend John Polk on the line. Reverend, you there?
Yeah, you do. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Everything good, John?
Yeah, after the flight home, my flight was 2.5 hours late because of smog at LAX. And the air conditioning on the flight just messed up my singing voice. So I called in to work tonight, and I never get to listen to your show because I always work. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen. It happens to be Thursday. Perfect. Fadernight. So
yeah,
right. I'm calling in. I haven't been able to do it in a long time.
Right on. Well, it's good to hear your voice. Great conference. And for you, what stands out?
Besides all the brilliant speakers, because they were all just magnificent in their own right, but the UFO sightings.
Yeah,
I must have seen close to 20 myself, and every time I saw one, there was witnesses to it. So it was one of the best. I'd put it in my top 6 or 7 UFO encounters in my life. It was just over the top awesome.
Yeah. It's such for us. Rita and I went out and did the night vision with Melinda Leslie, and there was literally one. I don't know if you were up there, but there was probably 300 or 400 people up there at the cliff. Double. It felt like to me double of what was there last year. But it was going down, man. I mean, it was going down. They were everywhere. There was stuff constantly for the 30 minutes that we were there. It was nonstop. I've told everybody I saw 15 or 20. It could have been double that, to be honest with you. But, well, of course, we had the famous Zorro. It will be Zorro forever, that the big Z in the sky. But that was pretty spectacular, no doubt. Now,
Eric.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, what about the speakers? It was jam packed, and there were so many things going on. But did you get to see a presentation that really stuck out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot of loose language about David Wilcock and what Corey Good are saying. And Eric and I, we ended up watching 2 of Wilcock's presentations, and I would say 90% of it just resonated with me so well. And he was kind of defensive because of all this heat he's been taking, but he kind of took it on the chin. He made fun of his last name. I won't say exactly what he said, but you can imagine what he said about his last name. And he acknowledged that he's a little arrogant, but I just thought he did a fabulous job, and he owned that crowd. He really did, and everybody got into him. So I thought that was really good. And the thing that sucks, it's impossible to see all these speakers. Like, I didn't even see Dr. Stephen Greer, which I really hated the fact. It just, time-wise, it just didn't work out. So, you go to a conference like Contact when you have 5 brilliant speakers at the same time, you got to pick, and you're going to sacrifice and not be able to hear everybody. That was the only thing that I regret, not being able to hear every single speaker.
Well, yeah, and one of the reasons why Contact does it like they do, because they have 5 different venues that you can speak at and go see somebody. So if if there is somebody speaking at the same time as somebody else, you want to see them both. Well, they're going to be speaking at another time too, and you're able to, get in everybody that you want to go and see. Other venues where you have one main room or two rooms, and you're stuck in that room, quite possibly you're going to be seeing somebody that you're just not interested in. You may have to sit through 5 people you're not interested in, and that's it, and you're not able to escape and go somewhere else and see somebody else speak. That's what I enjoy about Contact, the way that they've got that laid out. There is always somebody on the stage somewhere, and the odds of you not being able to see somebody that you're there to go and see, it's pretty small. It's pretty small. That's the great thing. When you have 50 speakers like that, 50, right? It's pretty it's pretty crazy, and you have choices. Where on other events, which are all great, but you don't have choices, right? You have to sit, and whoever's going to hit the seat, you don't have a choice, and that's what's really great. There's not with other smaller events where you've got 5 speakers, 7. Well, that's it. But here you've got 50, and now you're complaining because it's too cool. And I totally understand it, John. If there is a disappointment, I could see that. It is possible.
Well, we made a deliberate point to see the panels, so that way you could hear them, not necessarily doing their own thing for an hour or two, but, the panels I thought were brilliant. I thought that they were articulated, and they put the right personalities together. And I enjoyed listening to you MC a number of them. And then your show on Friday night, 3 hours, you had so many of the speakers. It's not all of them, I think. I don't know, close to all of them, if not all of them. That was really cool, too. Chuck Fei from China, he struck me as the coolest guy. I got to talk to him and interview him at one point out there in the Fader house, in your Fader compound, actually. He was the coolest cat, and the guy speaks like 5 languages. He's incredibly intelligent. Everybody out there, all the attendees were cool too. Everybody, a lot of people didn't even know who anybody was, and it was so easy to just become family within just a few short minutes of talking to people. I like that whole vibe out there a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely, John, and thank you for checking in. The Twitter feed just posted a picture of you and Eric. And what is Eric? Really? What does Eric have in his hand? His frigging iPad. My goodness gracious, man! It wouldn't be right if he didn't have the iPad. Right?
Oh, I know. It requires some invasive surgery to remove it from his body. I think he's part AI.
I think it's an extension of a body part now at this point. Hey, John, what's the next?
Actually, Rita posted it. Actually,
yeah. What's the next? What's the next book? Are you working on a book?
I am. I'm putting together an experiencer's book. Just all of my sightings, all of my ghost activity. I'm a ghost hunter. My house is haunted. UFO sightings, encounters, and all of the above. And I'll be asking for articles from certain individuals here soon. Open it up to people that I don't know also at some juncture.
There you go. Thank you so much, John, and I'm glad you got back to the East Coast safe.
Well, if I didn't lose my singing voice, I'd be working tonight. So, there's always something hidden in something that doesn't always go your way. So this went my way. I got to call in tonight. I know there's a ton of people calling in, so I'll let you go, Jimmy. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, there you go, John. Well, the good news is you sound like Clyde Lewis. I'll talk to you. Thank you so much. Be safe and be well. It is. I'll talk to you. Thank you, John.
Yeah, it is.
All right, man.
All right. Hey,
the Reverend John Polk, everybody. Let's just stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Big Josh. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Josh. How are you, man? You're a rock star now. Everybody, it's Big Josh Mobley. Josh, you're a rock star, man. And this is Josh, everybody, that is in the picture with Brad Olsen and when they made a Rita sandwich that we called 14 Feet of Men. This is Big Josh. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing great.
What was it like? You're a man of many words, obviously. Remember, Josh, this is live radio, so you must speak. You must speak. What was it like hanging out with the Fadernauts this weekend? Was that a great time or what?
It was amazing. As quick as like on Thursday night at the bar, I really had no idea what the Fadernauts were or who they were or anything. I did not do my research. But,
fair enough.
I really did enjoy myself, though.
Well, and since you're new to the family, you're our newest and largest member, by the way, newest and tallest. What was it like walking into the Joshua Tree Saloon and seeing 200 Fadernauts in T-shirts and this family that you knew nothing about? It had to have just tripped you out. Were you tripping?
I was definitely tripping. California's been really great to me. Everybody's had really open minds and huge hearts, and I really like the Fadernauts.
And we love you, man. And you've got a 5X shirt coming your way, by the way. Now, I also wanted to ask you, what got you into this world, the paranormal world? I think you mentioned to me you saw Bigfoot. You had a Bigfoot sighting, right?
I have seen a Bigfoot. It kind of sounds weird to say it, but he did come. My friend actually called him in using a stick to the tree method and knocked it 3 times.
Right.
He progressively came in about 30 minutes. We actually seen him. He came up to us about 40 yards away. He was about 9 foot tall and 4 foot wide. He was big, red, huge monster-looking thing. It really didn't. I say monster-looking thing. I look like a monster, but the crazy thing is he really didn't mean no harm. He was just like checking me out like how a cat would stalk their prey, you know?
Yeah.
He was just checking. It was pretty awesome.
Now, I'm sure that the Bigfoot was a little surprised to look at you and see somebody his size, right?
I couldn't read his mind, but I would love to hope to think that he went back and told his girlfriend or his wife that, hey, you seen that guy you were with last weekend, you know?
Because you're not intimidated by anything. I mean, you're not. You're in shape. How tall are you? 6'8"?
6'8.5", something like that.
Man, right?
I do have a nice pear shape going on.
Yeah, no, you're in shape. No, don't even. I mean, I'm tripping on that. But putting that aside, you're not intimidated by anything, are you? There's no way that you could be. But yet you're very humble and you're very cool. But you would be intimidating to a Bigfoot. I'm sure. When two people meet, two animals meet, they size each other up and they know there's a zone they're not going to go into, right? This is that simple. And with you, I can imagine where the Bigfoot came out and went, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep on going down the trail. It's all good tonight. We're going to leave him alone.
It was definitely an experience.
Now, and so is that what got you into the paranormal?
No, actually, stranger than anything. I was watching that show. What is that show? On Discovery, Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah, History Channel. Right.
Yeah, I watched the History Channel a lot. I'm pretty intrigued about history and whatnot. It's amazing that I had no idea what Göbekli Tepe was.
Right.
That was pretty.
Man, you are a member of the family official, Josh, and I don't know when we're going to see you again. What do you live in Arizona? Or, I mean, California?
I live in Florida.
Oh, you live in Florida. So you came out from Florida to contact in the desert. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I'm actually trying to go out to Shasta on the 18th.
Okay, well, we'll see you there for that. That's going to be a pretty awesome event, too, as well. And I just can't wait to see you, and you'll have your own Fade to Black shirt to wear with everybody else.
Awesome.
Man, just thank you so much, Josh. And again, welcome to the family. We just enjoyed hanging out with you all weekend long. And the really cool thing was, as we were walking around from event to event out there, I always saw you coming. There you go. Josh, thank you so much. And before I let you go, what do you do for a job?
That's actually up in the air right now. I'm actually on vacation right now. And I don't know, if something falls my way, I might shoot that direction.
Oh, there you go.
But I was a chef in the Army for a while.
Because somebody told me that you were a cook. You were a chef.
Definitely a cook.
Definitely a cook.
I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, the next Fader party, the next Fader house, we'll let you cook for us. How's that?
That'd be awesome.
Man, Josh, thank you so much, my friend. And I'm glad that you made it back safe and sound to Florida. And welcome to the family. Okay?
I'm still in Joshua Tree right now. I don't leave until Saturday.
Oh, you're still partying in Joshua Tree. There you go.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing it up over here.
Thank you so much, Josh. Be safe out there. And again, safe travels back to Florida. Thank you so much.
Have a great night, Jimmy.
Yeah, you too, Josh. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Big Josh Mobley and our newest member here at with the Fade to Black family. Now, when we come back, I've got calls on hold, but also I think we're going to have a call from Dan Zukowski, and we'll do that when we come back. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
My name's Doug Salamone, and I have a new show for you that will blow your mind. So what kind of show is it? It's a podcast, and it's called In the News. And you can find us at inthenewspodcast.com. We talk about what's new, what's crazy, what's out of this world, and we'll dissect those thoughts, ideas, and events right here on the show. And hear all the news you may have missed or really don't give a crap about, but want to hear anyways. So come on over and meet me at inthenewspodcast.com. That's inthenewspodcast.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back to Fade to Black. Welcome back from Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. Open lines all night long. I want to thank Jon Rappoport for doing his thing tonight. And, of course, Brad Olsen calling in. Big Josh Mobley, our newest member to the family, calling in too as well. Very cool. And anyway, I'm going to keep it rolling. The numbers are 323-825-5045 and 323-275-9695. But right now, we're going to go with duels because we have Dan Zukowski. Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing fantastic, Jimmy Church. How are you, brother?
You stay right there because guess who else we have on the phone? I'm bringing in Modern Masters, but I don't know which one. Who from Modern Masters is calling in?
It's John.
Hey, John. I just need to make sure. I didn't want to say, hey, Dana, right?
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, so we got John and Dan with us. What a great weekend. And did you guys have a good time?
Well,
absolutely.
We all had a fucking fantastic, we had a fantastic time, but I know Josh did, especially Big Josh who just called, and I just got to say, the couch was barely big enough to fit him Sunday night when he stayed for overtime and needed a place to crash.
Oh, man.
We had him covered.
I can only imagine. And that was my bad. I asked you guys the same question at the same time, and a radio host needs to direct who is going to speak next. So let me do just that. John, what a weekend, right?
Absolutely. I'm happy to be on with Dan because Dan pulled it all together, and we can't express more gratitude to Dan and what he did for putting this all together for us.
Yeah, Dan, much thanks from all of us to you. I have got, just let me say this. Of course, there's Dan, who is what do I want to say? He's the camp counselor. Right. He's the guy. Yeah, he's our camp counselor at summer camp and put it all together. So thank you for that. But then there's Dan's brother, Tom, Josh Haggart, Bill Ohm. Bill hung with us all weekend long, and he is great. Stacy, Jim showed up with his Fade to Black hamburger T-shirt. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
No, I never did.
I love the custom shirts, man. I know next year we're going to bring some more of that into the mix as well.
There were so many custom Fade to Black shirts. Walking around at Contact to see that, and I didn't know who they were. Right? They came with their own Fade to Black shirts, and that was really cool. But of course, Josh, who just called in, and Kelborn and his wife. I'm just going off. Holly and Mark, Lori McDonald, and Brad and Michelle Harris.
Everybody! We had everybody there, man. It was the biggest year yet. Every year, it just keeps getting bigger, and I'm just amazed. It doubles in size every year. The Fadernaughts are out in force every year. It's a bigger and bigger community out there representing Fade to Black. It's just an amazing scene, and like I say, special thanks to every one of you guys who donated to the Fader House and made that 4-day amazing experience even that much better. I mean, I can't believe it. People who didn't even come, people who couldn't even make it to Contact in the Desert, were donating to make sure that everybody here at the Fader House and everybody who we invited was fed had something to drink, had a good time.
Wait. Did you say here at the Fader house you haven't left? Hey, Rita.
In my head, I'm still there. My head and my heart, I'm still there, Jimmy.
Oh, are you there or are you not?
Back. No, I am not. I am back in Colorado. McCarthy is the local watering hole here in Longmont, which, by the way, one of our newest Fadernauts, Jordan, who I met.
Yes.
The most metal kid you will ever meet in your life.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He lives just 15 minutes away. So I invited him down last night and he was hanging out here. And Stacy as well. She lives in Longmont. So I'm like, wow, we got faders right here in the hometown. So
wow.
we're gonna start a little splinter cell here, if you will. And we'll be holding it down until next time we all meet.
Well, if you were still at the Fader house, we would end the show tonight and Rita and I pack up the car. We'd be out there in a New York second, man. Are you kidding me? I can't forget. I'm just going off. How about old desert gal Teresa hanging out, right? And Arnold. What about Arnold? Arnold hanging. It was just incredible. And his wife. You know, of course, Carrie and Karen and Nancy and Fran and Ronnie and Mike, Blair and her mom. I miss Gigi this year so much, but it just
you didn't hang with Gigi. He was there, but let me.
No, I miss no. What I mean by that, you have Blair and her mom, and then you have Gigi, and what I mean by missing Gigi, what I missed this year, and I told him, I said he didn't party with me. I miss Gigi. The whole vibe that Gigi and have between us was missing this year. You know what? He had a special someone there. Mercedes is a beautiful, awesome, amazing woman. She's a fantastic guitar player and singer, and they were hanging out and having a great time. So that's what it is. You're going to put it on the other woman. I don't think that's what it was. I think last year what I did to Gigi, he learned his lesson. You gotta train. You gotta train. You have to train like you're training for the decathlon. If you're gonna sit down with Jimmy Church and try to go at it, that's what I think.
John. I heard John trained. A few days, at least a week before we showed up. Right? Isn't that right?
John.
I did.
You were in training.
I did do a few days of training before because I knew that it was going to be such a positive time, a fun time, and constantly being around everybody that just wanted to talk and just wanted to share. And actually, one of the things I wanted to share with you guys was something that I talked with Tom, who was Dan's brother, and Dana on the way back, was about the energy of the faders and contact in general. The idea that people were talking about how you would go up to somebody and they would share this really personal story with you. And never once over the whole weekend did anybody say something contradictory. Did anybody say like, oh, no, that's not real or that's not possible? Everybody was so supportive of the experiences that we all share, that we all have had. And that's something that I think is extremely unique. And the faders exemplify that. And contact is a place for us to express ourselves and be ourselves. And I think that is unique to not only the fader community, but also to that conference. And it's something that is unique, is hard to find anywhere else.
Yeah, you're so right about that, because Rita and I, if Dan is the camp counselor, then Rita and I are like the den mothers, right? And so for us, for me to sit there with Rita and look around and listen to the conversations, of which every night at the Fader compound there was 25, 30, 40 conversations going on at the same time. Everybody off into their little in pairs and in threes and fours, engaging, and I was just kicking back and soaking it all in. Everybody was engaged. Right? Everybody was engaged. You had the table, the big table where we had, 10 or 15 people there. In that, even that was diced up into 3 or 4 conversations. But you just kind of kicked back and looked into each room Whether it was the front room, the dining room, the back room, the pool table, the side patio, the back patio was occupied, right? The kitchen, the island, every nook and cranny there was full of conversation. And it was so cool. And that
don't forget.
What I think is amazing.
Hold on, one at a time.
Is positive, man. Everyone support each other too.
Yeah, John, I'll let you repeat what you just said because Dan was talking over you.
I was just saying that what I think was the most unique and amazing aspect of that is that everyone was supporting each other. Like, we were all there for each other, and the energy was just off the charts, man. When you come home, it's like there's something missing. It's like you've stepped into another world, and I miss it. Just the feeling of being around people that are on your level.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask both of you. I already kind of know the answer out of Dan because Dan said to me, he goes, I think I hold the record for somebody that was a paid attendee at Contact in the Desert and didn't go, right? But Dan, did you get a chance to see somebody speak?
Jimmy, it's an embarrassing record to hold, but I had to hold down the fort, make sure that it was ready every night after the conference, and so that entailed staying up till 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m. in the morning until everybody filtered out every day. So I took one for the team, but I did get to see I came to see Graham Hancock because I've been reading his new book. Magicians of the Gods, and I was able to catch a portion of his talk, and of course I was there for the full broadcast, but unfortunately, yes, I have to report that I think I do hold the world record for least attended conference of a paid participant, because I did make about 30 minutes of Graham, and I made your broadcast, but the rest of the time was back at the compound making sure everybody was going to have a good time. Well,
it was the best broadcast that we've done yet from Contact in the Desert. I look back at it and think about it. First off, the room was packed, and that was great. And I feed off of that one, but also the audience feeds off of that too, right? No empty seats, packed, standing room only, overflow outside with the large screen TVs and the sitting area that was out there. For the FADERNIGHT, it couldn't have been better. But the speakers,
exactly, beginning to end, man. We had the place was packed inside, and there were the seats outside were packed watching on the big screens, man. The best year yet for sure. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to move you to the main room next year.
There's already conversation about that. John, for you, did you get a chance to see anybody speak?
We did. I caught a few panels. Mostly I saw a panel with David Wilcock. I saw your panel on the I think a secret space program as well. Who else did I catch? I think I caught Michael Tellinger's lecture or workshop.
Wow!
But again, for me, it was I go there to meet people, and it's not so much about the lectures for me. It's more about having a personal interaction with the faders and with the community out there. And in that sense, it was more successful than last year. I met amazing people. I met people that that's the thing for me, is just having the great connections and meeting people that I wouldn't meet anywhere else, and having those conversations like you talking about that you can't have anywhere else.
Yeah, that's right. The vibe there was different this year than it's always been great. But this year, to have that many people, every single person that I saw, that I could lay eyes on, every single one was smiling. Right? It was, and what a great vibe. What a great vibe.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, next year.
It's strange. It's strange to go back to the regular world, right? Like, I feel like when I come home from Contact, it's stepping into a different world, and I can't explain exactly why it feels that way or what it is, but it's different, man. There's something very different out there.
I'll say this to everybody. I've been sworn to secrecy, but there's been I know a little bit already about next year's conference. Oh my! And it's going to be the same time of year. They've already locked in those dates, so we've got the great weather again next year in Joshua Tree. So that part's not going to change. But what they've got planned already, it's going to just, wow. And how do you top it? Well, you know what? I say that every year, but it's shaping up to be extraordinary. So
I'm getting goosebumps just hearing that, Jimmy.
I know.
Next year, you know what? We're going to have the whole compound. We had 3/4 of it this year, but next year we're going to have the whole compound. So as soon as they announce the dates, get in touch with me. We're going to get the whole block there on Cholita Road booked up, pack it with faders, and we're going to do it one notch higher than we did this year.
Oh, man. Just incredible. Just incredible. And as things move along here, I'll make a couple of announcements. But I do believe the dates are locked down. And once I confirm that over the next few days, I'll let you know. And then go ahead, rent the whole block. Okay?
Will do, Jimmy.
Sounds great.
All right. I know Dan's in the middle of a pool tournament. So, Dan, go back to what you're doing. And John, thank you so much. And give my best to Dana and Mary. All right?
We will. We got to catch a train. We're heading up to Washington. So thank you, Jimmy, for having us on, and can't wait till next year, and can't wait to catch you guys again next time.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, guys. Be safe out there.
Bye, Jimmy.
You too.
See you later. Go. That is Dan Zukowski and Big John from Modern Masters, and I do again want to extend thanks to all of the faders for not only behaving. Also with the FADERNIGHTs, just let me say this. The eyes are honest, and they are honest for a lot of different reasons, but we represent ourselves correctly. There isn't, and by the way, everybody that's on hold, stay right there. I'll get to all the calls here. Okay, so just be patient. But I want to say this: that people look back at us. You know, and when they see us and they see somebody with a fade to black shirt, there's, nothing silly going on. We are cool, and you make Rita and this show and myself and what we have built, that reputation that is out there. You guys make sure that is solid and intact. And I just want to thank you for that, because you just make us proud. So, again, thank you. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Kelborn. How's it going, Jimmy?
Hey! How are you, Kelborn?
I'm doing very, very well. The only thing I really have to say, basically, is to thank everybody. It was mine and Michelle's absolute pleasure to have met everyone. We had an unbelievable time at the conference. There's no way we could have predicted having as much fun as we did.
Did I build it up too much, or was it greater than even I can hype?
Jimmy, I don't know if the English language allows for you to hype it up enough, to be honest.
I know, right? I thank you for that. Thank you for that, because I wanted to make sure that everybody understands what I am trying to say, right? And I don't want anybody to be let down, which would be an impossibility, but I just want to hear back from you and everybody else that, you know what, Jimmy, it was better than that. It was truly better than that, and it was a great time. Now, and Michelle, dude, she's special.
You are not kidding.
Man. Putting up with you, right? Now,
yeah, true.
Yeah. Now, and what did she think? You guys finally, now, let me ask you this. This was your first conference. You've been virtually in the virtual world out there, hanging out with the FADERNIGHTs for a long time. But now you go and you meet everybody and hang out face to face in the flesh, right? Now you've got FaceTime with everybody. How was that for you? What was that like?
It was as though I was running into people that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just like Les and I had discussions before we came down to Cali, and he was basically saying, there's no hesitation that normally comes from meeting strangers. Everything he said to me was right on. we just walked right up to the house. It was though we were meeting family for a get together, and there was no awkwardness or anything. Even meeting some of the speakers was the same way. No awkwardness. It was just like, going to your family's house on Christmas almost. That is how I can only describe it.
And again, I just want to hear from you so everybody can kind of pick up on what we're trying to project here. I want to hear this from you. When you got to the Joshua Tree Saloon, that's not a small bar, right? That's a big establishment. But to walk in and see wall-to-wall Fadernaughts, for those that did not attend, right, that hear us talking about this all the time, I don't know if they really have a picture of it. Or, seriously, Kelborn, I don't know if they're buying my BS, right? They're just not buying into it. When you walked in that door at the Joshua Tree Saloon and walked in and looked around, what was going through your mind?
Well, Michelle and I walked in. We saw the first person we saw was Nurse Nancy. We introduced ourselves. She greeted us, and we sat down at the bench there, and we're looking around, and I'm looking outside, and I see Fadernaughts out on the front porch. I'm looking out in the smoke pit, packed wall to wall with Fadernaughts. I look back behind me. There's Corey Good. Fadernaughts all in the back, all around the bar, everywhere. And I'm kind of quietly thinking to myself, it's like I don't know really if there's a word in the English language, but I thought to myself, Jimmy and Rita they've built something here. You know what I mean? And to put a word on it, I think would kind of hamstring it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's just it's an enigma basically, but it's just a great feeling to have been out there and to have experienced all that. It's unbelievable.
And this is the trippy part, Kelborn, and I say this a lot, but this is the trippy part. Rita and I had nothing to do with it. You guys did it. This is a Fadernaught thing. This is a Fadernaught family thing. We give the platform of a show live every night. The family and what you guys have done, you've named yourselves. That you guys did that. We didn't come up with that name. You guys named yourselves. The Sandbox was named by you guys. Hashtag F2B, right? That's all of this entire thing, which is why it's so wonderful and why it works the way it does, it's you guys doing it because you want this. You love this. That's what makes it great. There's no attitude. And we kick back. I'm telling you, Rita and I are all smiles. We're emotional. We get choked up by it because we see these friendships that will absolutely last a lifetime. This is not going to go away. And that's what's really going on here. And I do agree with you. It is an enigma. If there is a word, it's an enigma. It is so organic. It's an intangible, Kelborn, right?
It really is. I mean, it's just like anything. I always try to say, or when I'm trying to describe something that's indescribable, it's an enigma. I mean, you can reach for as many words as you want, but they're going to fall short. It's as simple as that.
And we take this group around the country too. Yeah, the big event is Contact in the Desert for everybody, and they plan all year. But we do it all over the place too as well. And I cannot wait for ESETI, and the Fadernaughts getting together up there, and we're going to be able to do it. And then, of course, right after that with Corey Good up at Mount Shasta, and for all of us to be able to get together and continue to do this, it's just incredible. And we get to, like I said, Rita and I just get to kick back and watch. We're observers in this, and it's just incredible. And again, I want to just thank you. And you've been a member of the family for a while, but for you to experience this for the first time, I need to live it vicariously through you. And just thank you for sharing that, because it's just great. Now, who did you see speak?
We actually were fortunate. We saw a lot of different speakers. The people that stood out to me most, I would say, was probably Mike Barra, because we laughed our butts off throughout his whole presentation. That guy is just one of the funniest guys I've ever met. But and then we tried to get in on most of the panels, and then a lot of the speakers are escaping me because I had so much fun at the Fader House. It was like everything's starting to blur together, you know?
Right. Did you see the closing night panel?
We did. We were there for the whole thing. It was awesome.
Now, what did you think about that 10-minute standing ovation?
I was just, it was one of those things where this whole entire rabbit hole and the beginning of it, you start off and you have these feelings of isolation because, you know, it's kind of one of those things where people kind of look at you like you have three heads if you talk about it. And it was just one of those things where it was like, it's like you say, we are no longer the minority. We are not the weird ones anymore. You know what I mean? That's what it gave me a feeling of, because I stood there, I got goosebumps on my skin, and I looked around and I was like, man, you know, finally I don't have to feel like I'm part of this weird crowd.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And when you see, 2,500 people that have, it at one spot in the amphitheater, forget about the rest. If there's 2,500 in the amphitheater, you stop and you think about this. There's another 700 in the sanctuary. There's 500 in Noble Hall. There's a few hundred back at in the Lotus Room, and then there's Friendship Hall up the road, right? So think about that, this group. And then for you to stand there with 2,500 people that are standing on their feet with this applause that they were giving, I'm serious, in appreciation of this event. And I think that's what the applause was for. And the panelists up there, when I brought everybody out front and in front of the table, because they deserve that. But for them to sit there or stand there and applaud back to the audience and the smiles, it said it all to me. And it was sad to actually have to say this was it. It's over. It just put a lump in my throat, man. I didn't want it to end, just like nobody else did. They didn't want to leave. But we had to wrap it up. But there you go. It was just a great event. Thank you so much, Kelborn. And do give my best to Michelle. And we'll be seeing you guys very, very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy. Hopefully in August we'll see you. Take care.
You got it. Kelborn, everybody. It was that event. It was magical. And this is Fade to Black. Now, it is Fader Night. I've got calls on hold, so if you're there, I will get back to you right after the break, so stay right there. Open lines, our first night back on a Thursday. Again, I want to thank Brad Olsen and Jon Rappoport for coming in. All the phone calls have been great. I'll get to the rest of them in just a minute. You stay right there. This is Fade to Black.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter, but listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Levels of Power. Fact or fiction? Author Mike Gilmore brings political thrillers aligned with the latest news stories direct from our nation's capital. Immigration and border security. High tension in Southeast Asia. A Supreme Court nomination. Follow Senator Randy Fisher through the halls of power as he confronts the issues that affect our everyday lives. Fast-paced political thrillers. Levels of Power. Discover more at michaelgilmore1.com or amazon.com. Get hooked today.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Teppy.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader Night. If you're on hold, stay right there. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'm in Twitter, and I'm looking at this picture of Dana, John, and Dan on their way to that is Dan, right? Is that Dan? He's all clean cut in this picture. So I'm assuming that's the clean cut version of Dan. On their way to Contact in the Desert. Unbelievable. All right, so it's open lines. I want to hear from everybody. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hi. This is Teresa.
Hey.
I just wanted to get in to say that I personally still have the biggest grin on my face. It doesn't seem to want to go away. I enjoyed every moment. It was on my bucket list to meet you and Rita and Dan and my new friend Fran showed me around. It was wonderful.
What was the experience like to meet 100 or 200 Fadernauts like that at the Joshua Tree Saloon to kick off the weekend?
Honestly, the faces, I have to look at the pictures. I'm like, oh, I met that person and that person. The most amazing thing that happened to me, though, was somebody actually asked me, like, oh, you lived in Landers? And I got to tell them that I was an experiencer.
So cool. I mean, just so cool. Now, with... I have to ask. I'm asking everybody the same thing because I really want to know who spoke that weekend that stuck with you.
I did not go to the event.
Oh, you only came out for the Fadernauts. You only came out for the party.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, sir.
You're a veteran.
Oh no, not at all. It was just I wanted to have the experience of other people that thought just the way I did, or maybe not exactly the way I think, but we're open-minded and cool.
It was so cool to finally meet you, and for all of us, for all of the faders, because we do this in a virtual way. It's a radio program, number one, and two, we have the chat rooms and Twitter and different ways to interface with each other, and you get to know people. But it's another thing to get together and finally meet them in person, and you're already friends, right? You're already friends. Right? It's pretty cool. Yeah. And did you?
And I just want to say, Rita, you're fabulous.
Isn't she the best? Isn't she the best? I was watching a video today that Reverend Polk interviewed me, right? And Eric shot it. And so, but what was funny, the interview, again, I don't remember it, which means it was pretty cool. I didn't say anything too stupid. But during the interview, Rita is walking by in the background, right, doing her thing, being, running the show, and she didn't stop. She just kept on going. Bye, guys, and didn't stop. And that's it was just absolutely hilarious. I'm glad that you got to say hello to everybody that you've been hanging out with for so long.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Did you meet? I brought Corey up. Did you say hi to Corey?
No, I saw him, but I did not speak to him. No.
Why? He was right there.
I'm telling you, I was dazed, and I pretty much still am. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I met all the people that I would ever think of meeting, and yeah, I was pretty speechless.
Oh, you just made it so special for all of us, and I couldn't believe it. I remember when I met you. I mean, I was bold. I just couldn't believe that you were there, and it was such an honor for me. And just thank you, Teresa. Thank you for everything, and thank you for keeping everybody sane in the chat room every single night. And I do mean that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Jimmy and Rita, much success.
Thank you so much, Teresa. And again, be safe out there, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yes, sir. Bye.
You got it. Old Desert Gal. Right there. One of the treasures of the weekend for all of us was hanging out with her. And there you go. And I really mean this. Okay. Phone lines are open, 323-825-5045. And I had like 6 calls on hold on the other line, and they've all dropped. That's strange. On the 323-825-5045, and to see that go blank all at the same time always makes me wonder. So now 323-825-5045 is open, and so is 323-275-9695. We got a few minutes left. I'll take a few more phone calls. Back to my thoughts on the Forbidden Archaeology panel. There was a few things that were mentioned that I want to go back and address. If you didn't attend, and if you were there, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But in our research of, okay, now the phone lines are lighting back up again, so I guess maybe they are working. Okay, I'll try. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're live.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Problem, man.
Okay, I can't hear you. Are you out in the middle of the desert? Yeah, that's a funky call. Okay, no, I ain't got you. So there you go. If you're out in the middle of the woods, it's best that you make sure you've got some bars. Okay, I'll try this again. Hi, you're live.
Jimmy, can you hear me now?
Yes, who is this?
This is Josh Haggard.
Oh, hey, Josh. How are you, my friend?
What's up, man?
No.
Hey, it's funny you said that because I actually am driving through the desert.
Josh, my pleasure, number one. Thank you so much for...
Oh, man, that's all mine.
Man. What a weekend, huh?
Yeah, dude. Seriously, it was the best.
What was the highlight for you? I think I kind of know, but what was the highlight?
It was totally the party, man. All the FADERNIGHT hanging out, just chilling, having a good time, playing some music, eating some good food, drinking some drinks. It was a blast.
That was an old school. Well, each night was, but that Sunday night, that was an old school. That was an old school blowout, wasn't it?
Oh God, it was the best. Couldn't have asked for better. And I laughed though when one of the local neighbors walked by. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna ask us to shut down." He's like, "Hey man, you got a light?"
Yeah, I saw that.
And then he just joins us and parties with us.
Yeah, I saw that when he was walking up. I was like, "Okay, here it goes. Here it goes."
Yep.
I've been waiting for this. The police are going to be right behind him. And no, he ended up hanging out, man.
Yeah, he was totally cool too.
And Josh, now I saw you all over. Every time I turned the corner at Contact in the Desert, I mean, you saw me, on a golf cart dashing here to there and walking really fast and doing my thing. But I saw you all over the place. So I know that you really got to absorb and enjoy the conference. Did you get to see a speaker that stood out for you?
I think Linda really did it for me.
In the sanctuary?
No, I can't remember what it was. This place is across from the sanctuary. Oh, God, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it. She was speaking on Area 51.
Yeah, Noble Hall. She was in Noble Hall. That's
it. Yeah. I was completely unaware until she spoke that there was the third incident at Roswell.
Yep.
Yeah, had no idea about that. I've been listening to Coast and you guys for 10 years now.
Well, you know what? When I see Linda next, I will tell her, I'm going to quote you, Linda did it for me.
Yeah, man.
She is just magic. And I was reminded after the conference, I was speaking to a friend. I have to say, I forget this with her. She's 75 years old.
I know.
She's 75 years old. On Sunday, before she did the panel with me, she spoke twice. She did two 2-hour presentations back to back, and then came over and did another 2 hours on our panel. And I forget she's 75. And when I announced to everybody, here comes Linda, because she was late. She was coming off of 2 hours at Noble Hall with you, right? And she's running down the hill. She's 75. And she's and when I announced to everybody, here comes Linda, and the round of applause that I told her, I said, no, when she gets here, let's light it up. But
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. You saw it happen, right? And we forget. We appreciate Linda so much, and we're so used to her. But she's 75. And busting tail to get up there and just light it up on that panel like she did. She deserves all of the accolades, all of the applause that she got that night at the end of the conference. And let's not forget, we need to listen to every word that woman says. And it was just electric. It was electric when she walked on the stage, wasn't it?
And, I posted this up on Twitter, but there's a rumor going around that she's still speaking from that last panel.
She probably is. She probably is. I have, Rita and I, we've hung out with Linda a lot. And I can't remember where we were at, but I know that we were with Linda late one night. I mean, it was late. And she was the last person that we saw as we were walking away. And then right after that, this is what's crazy. Right after that, in the morning, we're having breakfast with her at 8 o'clock in the morning. And she's ready to go.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, man, you just never stop. She just laughs. She just laughs. But she is just... She is just one special person. Josh, thank you so much, man. I know that you're driving right now.
Yeah, man, Jimmy.
Thank you for calling in. It was great hanging out with you. And like I said, I had my eye on you all weekend. You didn't know it, but everywhere I was, you were. So therefore, you know how tired I was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, we get around. Real quick, before I go, I want to give a quick shout-out to Dan. All the Vader nuts that were up at the house on Chelina. I didn't even, ask anything. They said, hey, come in the house and stay here. Drink all our drinks, eat all our food. Offered multiple times to help pay for it. Oh, dude, no way. We got enough alcohol to kill a horse.
Yeah, there you go. And you're absolutely right with that, Josh. But thank you for the shout-out to Dan. He deserves it.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Be safe out
Jimmy,
there.
Appreciate you.
Be safe in the desert.
Yeah, you too, man.
That's Josh, everybody. Hung with us all weekend long. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Marty from Chatsworth. How you doing, Jimmy?
Hey, Marty from Chatsworth. How are you?
Pretty good. I went to the Contact in the Desert, and I thought it was a really, really awesome event. I really enjoyed Graham Hancock.
Yep.
He was really interesting. Graham Hancock. Also, Robert Schock. He was really phenomenal. He's the one that really got me started on ancient, on the Sphinx theory. On the Sphinx, the water damage to the Sphinx. And I thought he's the one that really got me interested in archaeology again and in Egypt and everything.
Yeah, Robert's responsible for so many people out there like yourself. He truly is. Him and John Anthony West. Did you see Robert? Did you see Robert? Did you see Robert speak at Noble Hall?
Yes, I did. So it was really good. It was a really good presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Did you see me?
Really good presentation.
Did you see when I walked in and photobombed him?
Yeah, I did. That was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed the entire 3 days. It's just I'm definitely going back next year. It's just phenomenal. All the speakers are really good. And also, I think Josh was saying that Linda Moulton Howell. I really enjoyed her presentations too. I saw the one in the morning on Sunday,
right?
Where it was all Q&A.
Yep.
That was really good. A lot of people showed up. I couldn't believe.
Yep.
I could barely find a seat. It was really interesting.
She's just amazing. What I wanted to say, we're going to have Robert on the show next week, but I really like surprising people and catching them off guard, right? So I kept doing that all week.
You really did.
Yeah, walking into the middle of their presentation and just knock them off their game, right? So so I go into the panel, and so if you weren't there, this is how much of a I want to use a bad word. How much of an ornery person I can be.
Say it.
Yeah. So I walk in, and Robert is just deep in conversation, and I was outside with everybody because it was full, so they were outside watching on the big screens, and I was like, you know what? He's doing too good. I'm going to go crash the party. So I walked in, and I walk all the way up through the crowd. I walk right up to Robert. I go face to face with him, and I know what was going through his mind. Who is this? And he wouldn't look at me. Remember, he wouldn't look. And I'm like,
I know. He was surprised.
He was surprised, and he turned around and he looked, and he goes, "Oh!" It was just so funny.
I know.
And
he's a really sweet guy. I met him at the meet and greet on Saturday, I believe.
Right.
Saturday night.
Right.
Everything's kind of a blur because I went to everything. I saw everything almost. So it's kind of getting blurred right now. After 3 days, because I was pretty tired, but he's a really nice guy, and I think he's getting a lot of people interested in Egypt and archaeology again.
Right.
And the fact that the dates that we've been taught to think about Egypt, 3,000-4,000 years, they may not be so. Maybe way further than that. And he really paints a really good picture, and it makes a lot of sense of what he says. I
wanted to ask you, Marty, did you see the Close Encounters multimedia on Saturday night?
At the end?
Yeah.
At the end, yeah, I think so. Yeah, are you talking about the last? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, it was Saturday night after my panel.
No, I think I might have missed that one.
I wanted to ask you about that with the hologram spaceship landing in the desert.
Was that the one where you guys played all the multimedia from all the movies and different clips?
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I did see that. Was that Saturday?
That was Saturday.
It goes to show you. Yeah. See. Yeah, I was just, okay. Yeah, I did see that. I did.
Did you see the hologram spaceship out in the desert?
No, I missed that one. Oh, my God. No,
You were standing. You must have been standing off to the side and had, like, the jumbotrons blocking your view.
Possibly, yeah. I think so. No, because I think I missed that one for some reason. Man, I hope you guys do it again next year. I want to see it.
Marty, thank you so much, man. Hey,
thank you. Thanks for everything you do. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. You're in Chatsworth. What's the name?
Yes.
I don't know what part of Chatsworth you're in, but up on Chatsworth Road, there's a breakfast restaurant up there. It's called, is it Joe's Cafe?
I think that doesn't sound familiar. No, breakfast on Joe's Cafe on Chatsworth. Well, we have a Chatsworth Boulevard.
No, this is Chatsworth between Tampa and Reseda.
No, I'm more towards the west. I'm more towards Topanga.
Oh,
I'm on the west side.
You're on the west side out there. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Chatsworth City. What you're describing is more Northridge.
Yeah,
Northridge. Tampa and Reseda. That's more Northridge.
That's right. And as I opened my mouth, I realized how wrong I was. Thank you, Marty.
That's okay.
Hey, man.
We love you. We forgive you. No problem.
Thank you so much.
I really enjoy everything you do, and thanks for everything you do, and keep it up. Really.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marty, and I'm glad you had a great time. It's an amazing conference.
I really did. Thanks. I was glad to meet you. I shook your hand in the morning and once in the afternoon, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
I remember. Thank you so much, Marty, and be safe out there, my friend.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, there you go. Now, and thank you, Marty, for that, and everybody that called in tonight. Now, what I wanted to do... what I wanted to mention, going back to the Forbidden Archaeology panel, if you weren't there, Rita and I study Egyptology, ancient Egypt, and the culture out there, and the foundations of everything, and how it got started. And we've been formulating our own opinions. But there's one thing that was mentioned that night, and I want everybody to write this down. You need to go and study this. It's called Napta Playa, Napta, Napta Playa, Playa. Now, Napta Playa is a lake. Well, it's not now. Now it's sand. But at 8,000 BC, and you can go look this up, at 8,000 BC, where the climate was different, it used to actually rain in the desert. Napta Playa was a seasonal lake that would fill up, and obviously animals, but also humans, us, could go and survive. And the rain today, when it rains out there where Napta Playa is, the rain evaporates before it hits the ground. It rains, but it's too hot. It evaporates before it hits. But back then at 8,000 BC, it was a lake. And off to the side of the lake was a calendar that it's there, but this is what I want to talk about. This calendar, it's a stone calendar like Stonehenge, but it's another 5,000 years older, that was built. And the calendar marked the summer solstice, winter solstice, north, south, east, and west were there. And it's a stone circle with upright stones in the middle. Now, these stones are knee-high. This isn't giant. And the stone circle itself is, it's about 10 feet around. It's small, but it is an actual calendar, right? Now, you needed that calendar so they would know when the rains would start and when the rains would end. Very, very important back then. It was survival. 3 days without water, you're dead, right? So it was very important. Now, this stone circle in Napa Playa, this calendar, one of the most important monuments on planet Earth, period. Just like Stonehenge, just like Carahoons, just like Göbekli Tepe, these very, very important sites, ancient sites on the earth. Napa Playa was there for the start of the Adams. That's in southern Africa, Michelle, but thank you for pointing that out. That's Adams Calendar, which is also another important site, so you can put that up there. Napa Playa was discovered in the early 70s. And when they found it, now we have one of the most important places in the world, right? And it's a true ancient civilization calendar, stone calendar. And Zahi Hawass, now this was mentioned by Robert Bivol during the panel. Most people have never heard of Napa Playa. You haven't. So that's why I'm saying it now, and you can go and do your research after the show. You need to go and find out about this for yourself, because it is so important to us in our ancient history. But Zahi Hawass, where it sits now, is not the original site. Zahi Hawass went out and moved this stone circle. And I did not know that until the panel. When Robert Bivol mentioned that during the panel, number one, first, I was completely floored and completely offended. We're always offended by Hawass, and I get that. But for me and Rita and our research that we do into this every single day, I did not know that. And I'm once again offended by Zahi. That dude should be in prison. But what's most important here is that's the kind of information that was distributed at Contact in the Desert. Even I learned something on that panel. Now, yeah, did I get pissed off? Absolutely. Is it confirmation that Zahi is an idiot? Absolutely. You know, you don't need any more than that. But that's the kind of information that was there at Contact in the Desert. That panel was amazing that night, and that little gem, that little nugget, that little gift from Robert Bivol changed me. Rita came up to me after that, and she said, "Did he say that correctly?" And absolutely, Zahi should be in prison. You do not pack. Could you imagine if somebody moved Stonehenge? Right? What? You can't do that. You know, let's move the Sphinx. Let's move it over there. You don't do that. There you go. Another Fader Night is in the books, and what a special one it was. Thank you, Jon Rappoport. Thank you, Brad Olsen, Dan Zukowski, everybody that called in tonight, everybody that tweeted. Thank you so much. The Fader family is the best, and never forget that. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Shows produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee Jonas. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Fady by Dale. Webmaster is Drew, the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Jon Rappoport and Brad Olsen and everybody that called in and tweeted. We love you all. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Göbekli Tepe.